because I'm going to do it after I bring everybody in.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, so good morning, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here, and we're having some green screen issues today, but we are going to be letting our players in here. We have Jeff Mazansky coming in. We have Tommy Chong. So let's see how we can do this here. We're going to be letting our people in here right now. We have Sir Tommy. We have Jeff Mazansky. We have Donnie coming in. We have some people that I don't recognize, but we will get to know them. Welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome, Donnie. Welcome, Tommy. Today's our, we're going to call our, we have God Cloud on. We're going to call our show today, not the wrap up of the year. We're going to call it the roll up. So we're going to call the roll up here. So we're going to get Amy Pova in, and we're going to get everybody to fly in the room here. We got more people coming. We got Tom LaRock. All the new people follow my lead today. We've got guest host, long awaited, lovely Amy, having a little bite. You know, I've got a flaxseed muffin here, and my camera's not working today, so we got a green screen with me and my green hat here. So we're gonna be bringing people in today for the last show of the year. Ham Puree, everybody, and let's see if I can have our party rolling here. My camera didn't work today, so I'm going to be hoofing it, and I hope you all bear with me. But it's really fun what we got going on, what we got planned today. And here we go. Let's see here if I can find my Ecamm software. Boom, 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 boom. And I can go window, sound effects. I can go. So yeah, so I can applaud everybody for coming on board and saying hello, Ham Puree, for a beautiful let's see here, a beautiful day today in the neighborhood with Jeff Eichen here. And we are going to be sharing our screen with you today a couple times. And we want to bless all the prisoners that are coming home. We want to bless Amy Pova for returning as a guest host today, and everybody else. We'll get to you. We'll go around the horn. But first, I want to share my screen with you, everybody. And I want to give you my my blessings for people that have left the planet this year. So bear with me. This is about a 3-minute video, and we're going to be really mindful of Tommy's time because he has to leave early today. Hello, Tommy. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing, man?
Hey, it's really great to see you. And even in my computer funk here, I look good and I feel great. I got my Hawaiian shirt on that everybody loves. It's the hippie Hawaiian shirt. So I'm blessed to have you all here and to have former beautiful human beings that were in prison. I have Jeff Mazansky online. I have Don E. Wirtschafter, and Don's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with him and globally. We have God Cloud on, a really beautiful musician here, and so we are navigating some really beautiful projects with God and God Cloud. And so thank you so much for joining us. And I'm just going to play our intro really fast, but it's going to just bear with me and really enjoy this, or just give space to all those who have left the planet, everybody, okay? Because that's what this is, a wrap up for the end of the year for all of us. So here we go. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, so everybody can see my screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my my party here, and I'm going to share my screen again. And hello, everybody in beautiful optimized video land. we're doing some back office stuff. We're going to get our sound really beautiful. We're going to let more people in the space here. We're going to add Dan and Felipe. Come on in, Dan and Felipe. And who else needs to come in? I think everybody's here now. And so I'm going to get rid of that. And here we go with our intro. And it's really an amazing time of life. Pray for all those inside, outside, and the people that we lost this year. And here we go. Everybody mute themselves. Temporary, everybody. We have changed our time. Please take note. Please join us this week. This is Jeff Eichen with Weedsday and World 420 Day. We have Sir Tommy Chong on this week. And I'm so blessed that you made it through, that we made it through another year. And we're going to give you the updates and tell you exactly how we're feeling about the future. Ham Ham Hooray, love and light. And remember, nobody should be in jail for a plan. So hold some space, everybody. These are the people that left the planet this year. Hmm? We miss you all. My condolences to your family. Those of you who knew these people and others. It's a beautiful time to bless your own legacy and to step forward and share your legacy with the world. People that live long or not long, they pack it in. And so I'm really blessed to hold space for all these people. You see all these incredible people. We are them. They are us. We are one. Rest in peace, all you beautiful humans. This reminds us of our journey. Keep laughing. Keep sharing. all the musicians, all the brave people, all of our friends, all of our wives, our husbands, our mothers. It's up to us to live the life and stay in your lane. Look at that. I said stay in your lane, and it was Bobby Unser. Paul Mooney, loved you, Paul. I knew Paul. All these great people. It's up to us to end prohibition and to take the walk together. We're going to go to the White House. We're going to get this job done in our lifetime. And so our legacies together and our afros. I got a white one now. Bless you. Rest in peace, everybody. Charlie, you played some good times for us. Ed Asner. Our childhood. Lee Scratch. Bless you, man. Jane. Oh, man. Lady Marmalade. You live long when you're going on your path, everybody. That's what I've learned. And moms and cops say legalize pot. So that's the White House. That's Jeff Mazansky. He just called in. We'll see if he can get him back. End prohibition, everybody. And I'm going to bring us back into our zone here. And on World 420 Day, we're just so blessed to take a walk back and everything. I'm going to turn the show over to Amy. Amy, I want you to say hello to Tommy and then share your good news and your incredibleness of the Reform Show that we have. We've been on 83 episodes and we're so blessed. Sorry for the emotional moment here in time, but we need to ground out and to get ourselves in a space of enlightenment here for the day. And we really bless Amy for being back. Amy, take it away.
Oh, well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Jeff. Ironically, Jeff and I talked about me coming back on the show for the end of the year roundup. Thank you, Tommy, for being on, and Don here, Eric. I see Randy Lanier is there. There's so many familiar faces. Eric McCauley.
Recording in progress.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. But we were going to have Diana Marquez come on just to talk about what it's like to be on the CARES Act. She was one of the people that is serving 30 years for her first offense for marijuana. And recently, Attorney General Garland decided to reverse the Barr memo, which said that people who are on the CARES Act don't have to go back. However, the Biden administration had already promised clemency for a group of people on the CARES Act, and we were expecting those to come out the week of, Christmas week. And it seemed funny that the new OLC memo came out that same week and no clemencies. However, Diana was not going to be one of the people who would benefit from clemency because the Biden administration, said they were going to look at people serving 4 years or less for nonviolent drug offenses. Diana's out date is not until 2031. She has another 10 years to go. We assisted with helping amend her clemency petition, and we even got a notice from Office of the Pardon Attorney saying, you don't meet the criteria. So that was very emotional and frankly, heart-wrenching. But we got compassionate release filed for Diana Marquez. Law professor Colin Miller from University of South Carolina and his students did it. And yesterday they called Diana in and told her to come in and get her ankle monitor removed because she won her compassionate release. And so she is free and anywhere. Just a few minutes. Diana, just say hi and hello to Jeff and Tommy Chong and the gang, and how it must feel to know that you finally have that ankle monitor off of you.
Amen. First of all, I just want to say thank you to you all for inviting me. I can express what is the joy that I feel in my heart right now. I'm still having heaviness in my heart. I can still believe that I'm free, completely free. You should see me yesterday screaming, jumping in my little grandsons were scared. I said, what happened, Grandma? What happened? I said, I am free, mijos. I am free. And they were so happy. It says, oh, now we're going to be able to go to streets. We're going to go able to go to park and go everywhere. So they were so excited together with me. So the first person that I called, it was my daughter. But since she was working, I called you. But I know you were so busy. And I just start calling somebody for a ride to take me to the halfway house because they give me an hour to cut the monitor and release me. And I said, oh, I'm on the way. And yeah, I was there, but an hour. But I'm still can feel the vibrator in my ankle. I can keep looking my ankle, like feeling the machine. They used to vibrate it whenever they want to call me or something. And I can still feel it. And last night I wasn't able to sleep well because I wake up like around 4, putting the pillow between my legs, like my both ankles do not rub the backs. I say, wow, I don't have that stuff no more. It's something unbelievable, but I'm so thankful and grateful with you all and for the Almighty Lord. Yes, thank you so much. I'm very thankful and grateful.
Well, thank you, and we'll bring you back on. I think Tommy Chong only has a short period of time today to be with us, so Diana will hear more from you and Eric McCauley, who also won a compassionate release and got the award at the Emerald Cup. But Jeff, I'll throw it back to you, and Tommy probably has some words that he'd like to share with you, Diana, and Eric, and all of you guys. So we'll be quiet and let the show proceed. Congratulations, Diana.
Thank you so much. Did we lose Tommy? Tommy's there. Okay, great. Diana, I have a question for you. I mean, I have a.
You go to sleep, Jeff?
No. Here, I was muted. Diana, I have a question for you, or a statement, or how about just Feliz Año Nuevo?
New life, new year, new everything. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for your wishes. Thank you.
So everybody, Feliz Año Nuevo to Diana and all the prisoners that are coming home. For me, when I go inside a prison and I film somebody, the saddest moment that I can't even express my emotional, spiritual, and who I am. I can't express. There's Jeff Mazansky, everybody. I cannot express what it was like when I was my first prisoner to film in prison was Sir Jeff Mazansky, and there he is. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey,
Sorry I'm late.
and it's okay. But the deal is that I want to share with everybody is that I can't express more that the moment that I was leaving prison, the moment that I was leaving the photo shoot with Jeff Mazansky was the toughest time in my life. When I was with Miko, the moment that I saw their face and I knew they were going back in was so unbelievably, I can't express my emotions. And so we have several people, Amy included, Tommy included, and Jeff included, that were in jail, okay, that have seen the no daylight for weeks and days. Tommy, give a shout out to Diana and to Jeff, please, and to share your feelings about even yourself going in and out and what it's like to welcome them home.
Well, that is a beautiful feeling, knowing that you're going home. First of all, it's kind of bittersweet because what happens in prison is that about a month before you're released, everybody kind of stops communicating with you. You almost become like you no longer exist because they have to stay and you're leaving, and therefore you don't get the privilege of sharing their intimate thoughts or lives anymore, and it was bittersweet. I was extremely happy to be free. I documented everything. At least my buddy did, Josh Gilbert. He documented everything the day of my release. And it was really funny because he was recording and my wife and Josh in there. And my wife, Shelby, she was really a stickler for details. She wanted to make sure everything was right. So, she was kind of yelling at Josh for, what are you doing? Don't do that. You don't want to make it hard for him to be released. The thing is, when you're being released, it takes a lot to keep you there, because you're off the books. You're off their chart. Once you get off their chart, it's like, get out of here. We don't want to see you anymore. And it was bittersweet for me. And then when I never got released right home. I spent the first day home, and then I had to go to a halfway house. But even the halfway house, it felt good. It felt good. It's only a month. And after you've done a bit of time in prison, a month, at one time used to seem like a long time. But when you're in jail, a month can be like a minute. It means nothing. Years can go fly by like that too. But you don't appreciate your freedom until it's taken away from you. And not just symbolically. I mean, literally. And that's what changed me. I mean, I could have, they kind of inferred that I could have beat it if I had done an anti-drug commercial, which they wanted me to do. And they really wanted to destroy me in every which way they could do it, And there was no way I wasn't going to go to jail. Because when you think about it, just the name Chong, just think about Chong glass in America, Chong, especially with the virus now, anything Chong, anything Chinese, there's a lot of people on the right that look at me like I'm some kind of enemy or some kind of something that should be eradicated, and that's where we're at now with the Trump effect, where Trump legalized lying, he legalized deception, he legalized racism. He actually made it okay to kill people because of their color. And
we have to remind you, Tommy, that Trump, in his obscurity, he also brought 9 of our prisoners home. Is that true, Amy? Okay.
No, I believe that, but it wasn't because of his kind heart, for sure. It was because of your hard work, and that's what it is. Because what you do is like a chess game. We make moves, and you checkmated them a few times, Jeff.
Yeah,
more than a few times, and that's why he did bring people home, because Kim Kardashian, I believe, was one of the founders of that. And she obviously has a good heart, among other good organs, but she she even as right wing as some people are, they all agree that marijuana is a medicine, and no one should be locked up for any amount of time for any dealing with that plant, period. Because people only use marijuana like they use medicine if they need it. And if you don't need it, you definitely don't use it. That's one of those things about medicine, and because pot is recognized as a viable medicine, older than anything on the planet, that when you think about it, for the same diseases that they're been raising millions and trillions of dollars to fight. And we've always had a plant here that grows wild for you or for anybody that can eradicate tons of diseases that we've been trying to raise money to combat. Notwithstanding MS, for instance. I mean, there's not clinical proof, but there is proof, with Montel Williams, who has had the MS all his life and still managed to be a skateboarder, to surf, to have a life, because of his regular use of his medicine. So
so is that a shout out, Tommy, that that nobody should be in jail for a plant?
Nobody should be in jail for a plant. No, as far as I can see, I understand. You have to understand why people use jails. It's to take people out of circulation so they can't interfere with the thievery that's going on, say in Russia or in some of those communist countries. It's out and out thievery, and it's based on lies. And if you notice the insurrection that we're still dealing with, and by the way, I want to give a great big shout out to the Democrats who are managing to keep Trump off the headlines, keep us in the headlines, and keep repeating how good the Build Back Better plan is over and over and over again. And so where I know a lot of people have bad feelings against Joe Manchin for his stance, but I give Joe a lot of credit for being the one guy that can hold up the plan to build back better, to hold it up for people to see, so they don't have to deal with rumors. They can deal with facts. And that's what we're dealing with here. Like yourself, Jeff, you've managed to keep the spotlight on the horrific nature of our legal system, which allows the police to kill indiscriminately.
Well, in the early days, I agree with you, Tommy. In the early days, we had Ram Dass and Timothy Leary, and they got louder, including your movies, Up in Smoke, got louder to allow us to know this is absurd, and that in our lifetime, we want your help, Tommy. We're going to come to you, and we want to get this job done in my lifetime, let alone yours. We're in the fourth quarter. We're going to overtime, and it's time for us to all step up and to welcome these new prisoners home. We have Jeff Mazansky was in jail for 21-9. We have let's see, don't we have Randy? Randy, why don't you give us a shout and say hi to Tommy? Introduce yourself to Tommy. Tell us your story, Randy. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Hey guys. Hey, hi Tommy.
Hey, Randy.
Hello, Amy. I love you.
Hi.
I want to first say welcome home and congratulations to Deanna Marquez. Thank you so much for just gathering up and getting your freedom. I'm blessed. I'm glad you're out here to join us in the walk outside on this side of the real world. And Jeff, nice to meet you. Tommy, you and I spoke at let's see, Champ Show in Las Vegas. I don't know if you remember that, but I spoke to you briefly about Freedom Grow. We have gathering up. We go to events and we gather up letters to Joe Biden. And I had spoke to you about maybe you might have some personal insight of delivering these letters.
Oh no, I can get them right too, Joe.
So we like to give them to you, Tommy. And
okay.
We've been collecting items, letters at all these events for this last year, and we have a ton of them. And we'd like for you to be the man to present them to Joe Biden for us.
I will do that. I will do that. I have a relationship with Hunter Biden. He's a very fine artist, and I was invited to his art show in LA, and where we had all of us had the mask up, and I was pleasantly surprised at the talent that this guy has. Hunter has. He has a lot of talent. You get a lot of flack when you're the son of a famous guy, and you're not supposed to be talented, and so they knock him. And the thing that I hated about the Trump people is the lies. Just for no reason at all. I mean, I can see yourself lying. Say if you're facing, 20 years to life in prison. Okay, lie, but to lie for no reason. To lie to make other people look bad, or to put like a pedophile jacket on Joe Biden. That is so disgraceful, and we have to come up with lawsuits like they have in England, where if someone slanders you, you can go after them and take their money. So
Well,
we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Tommy, we're gonna walk gently and carry a big stick, and we're gonna go in invisibly into the White House, and we're gonna woo them so incredibly to end prohibition, to help the CARES Act to be done. We're gonna be neutral with our intentional for agreements, the impeccable words that we use. We're going to be using cannabis more than marijuana, but I've also re-embraced the marijuana as just another way to recognize the plant, the mama. And Randy, how long were you in jail for?
Hi, Jeff. 27 years. I got a life sentence in 1987. I took my case to trial. They hadn't even found one bud, one seed, one stem in my case. So I took my case to trial and ended up getting convicted of being a principal administrator of an enterprise that brought in marijuana from Colombia. And so ended up with a life sentence. It took me 3 decades, and I overcame it in 2014.
Well, we're having some a party with Donnie Wershafter. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Colombia now that Randy Lanier was talking about Colombia? Don, introduce yourself and say hi to Tommy, and we're going to go around the horn. We'll get to you, God Cloud, next. Say hi to Tommy, Don, and tell us a little bit about what's floating your boat in the end of the year hope for the prisoners. Hey, Donnie.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. Hey, Tommy, nobody should go to jail for a bong, really.
Unless your name is Chong.
Yes. We met maybe 25 years ago. I've met most of you. I'm a criminal defense attorney in Ohio. I was an early cannabis advocate along with Dan's father here. And actually next to me is Cliff Barrows, who I met on a street corner in 1987. I was a newly minted attorney, and Cliff was handing out the last of the NORML literature. NORML was about a dead organization then, and Cliff on his own decided he was going to revive it. And many other people were involved, but the fact that we have a NORML is dependent on Cliff here, and the fact that I've spent my last 35 years in full-time pursuit of cannabis reform is his fault.
Maybe everybody should tell their first time they ever smoked today. This is the end of the year party, everybody. End of the year party. Okay, keep going.
I noticed in your list of people who we lost this year, at least 2 prisoners. I'm not speaking well for them, but Bernie Madoff and Phil Spector. I got a lot of good music from Phil Spector.
And a shout out to Eddie Lepp also.
Yeah, Eddie Lepp, yeah. But I mean, I just can't. I mean, prison. My 3 days in jail horrifies me years later. And so I can't imagine what 3 months or 3 years or 30 years would be like. And then beyond that, to be dying in prison, where your family can't be there, and all that stuff, where you lose your family members and you can't attend their funerals, that kind of stuff just tears me up. It motivates me a lot.
Well, Richard DeLisi, his daughter was 3 years old when he went in, and when he came out last Christmas, he reunited with his daughter, now in a wheelchair and with a baby, and she's 35. She didn't get her daddy, so Eddie Lepp said, "You put me in jail, you put my family in jail."
That's it. Hey, Dan, how are you?
Come on, Dan.
Brother, I'm well. Good to see you as always, Donnie.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Tommy, brother. How are you?
Good.
And Jeff, and to everybody that's joining us here today. God bless you and your freedom. And the fight continues for all those still left behind that we're fighting forward for.
Hey, Dan, tell us your legacy. Come on, scratch. Lee Scratch Perry died, so we're gonna scratch you in. Come on.
Lee, he was quite a nice man. He played when we launched our brand. Him and his group played at our cannabis release party, and that was it was something really special for us. But as far as my legacy, it's not like too much different than Tommy's or Donnie's or yours. Cannabis came into my life through my father. My father influenced myself and so many people around the world to find their voice, and those voices are showing up right here on this podcast, along with many people around the world that have really embraced the truth of cannabis and its opportunities to change not just how we survive the future, but to thrive in it. And education and the ability to have a voice and express it and to change the world through this truth is always humbling when you see folks like Randy and Diane come home after such horrific penalties thrust upon them because of lies.
And we got Jeff also. We have Jeff here too. We have Jeff.
And Jeff as well, and
Eric.
It's just
and Eric.
It's just amazing to be here at a time where you realize and you can see in real time how standing up and finding your voice not just changes the world but changes lives every day. And I'm grateful to everybody here that has really embraced the truth of cannabis and continue to try to right the wrongs.
And who was your father?
My father was a man named Jack Herrer.
I want to say who got that question. I really want to know who do that question.
I asked that question.
Okay.
Everybody, I'm going to reset the room. This is Jeff Eichen here with Weedsdays. We've got Tommy Chong and we got Jack Hare's son, Dan, on speaking right now. Dan, say hello to Tommy and the rest of the gang, and we're going to move forwards and give us your hope for 2022.
Well, Tommy, to everybody, just, many blessings. And, 2022 has got to be a year of bringing more people home. And I think the things that Tommy and Jeff and everybody here are really looking forward to is spending whatever time and energy that we have to that end, and is bringing home every single cannabis prisoner, and also all those ones fighting in court right now for their freedom, trying to live through a courtroom of lies that tries to continuously put those down who love and breathe and believe in this plant and for all the things that it can do. So,
thank you, brother. Thank you.
My eternal dedication, to this community and to the end of prohibition.
End prohibition, everybody. And one last shout out to Eddie Lepp, who we lost this year. Eddie was a really beautiful soul. And I think Eddie told me 35 tons. You know, so Jeff Mazansky, 2.5 grams, 3 strikes, and Eddie Lepp, 35 tons. I think we balanced the budget there, everybody. You know, so we're going to go around the horn here. And God Cloud, why don't you just say hello and tell us your feelings about our space?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, you're
Awesome.
good.
Cool. Yeah, everybody, first of all, congrats on everybody coming home. I know, I know all too well what it's like to be, you know, locked up in a room, and then when they finally let you out, it is a beautiful feeling. Like when you first get to hug your loved ones and, you know, get that sunlight. Like when that sunlight hits your skin after being in a situation like that, it's something you remember forever. And, you know, and just like Tommy was saying, it's a super bittersweet too, because, you know, when in your last moments there, it's kind of like, you know, like, wow, you feel something for the people who aren't going home. You know, you feel something for the people who still have to connect via that cold phone, you know, touching their ear, talking to their loved ones, you know. So to everybody who's coming home, that's amazing. And I love the work that, you know, Jeff and the whole squad, I love everything that you guys are doing. That's something that I'm super passionate about as well. You know, helping get these people home, helping even the people who are in there, helping them get as much comfort as possible. And just like we all keep saying, man, you shouldn't be locked up for medicine. Your family shouldn't be, you know, tortured by missing their loved one for medicine, you know? So just want to say much love to everybody. Big shout out to everybody on the call. And yeah, hope you guys keep doing this awesome work, and I'm here to help in any way I can.
Fantastic. That's my buddy God Cloud, and he's a beautiful musician. We'll have him play some music one of these days for us. And we're going to have God Cloud and Tom LaRock down in the bottom there assist us with raising some money for these prisoners. I have a relief, RELEAF, fund projects. I have 3 projects, one with Dan and some music projects that are going to go huge. But we want to make a relief fund and give the Dianas, the Erics, the Randys, and the Jeffs a fund. We want to give you a restitution fund that's going to be put away safely and you can have for food and shelter. That's our gift for you being in jail for our mama, our plant. And so hemp hooray. And we're going to go now to Eric. Eric, why don't you say hello and tell us your story? Unmute yourself.
I'm doing. I'm not very technologically savvy yet, but
tell us your story and how long were you in and when did you come home?
So I got picked up after leaving Emerald Cup in 2008. I got picked up on December 11th, actually, and I spent.
You mean you were put in the pokey right after the show?
Almost right after, yeah. I drove back from Northern California. You know, it used to be off of 101 back then, right there at Tim's property. Drove back from there, arrived in Kansas City, and was having a drink at a Hooters restaurant in Independence, Missouri, when the DEA busted in like a kick door at a home and knocked my teeth out, pinned me on the floor, and took me right to the pokey.
I haven't heard that word in a long time. I'm glad it came out of my mouth, the pokey. It pokes you. It pokes you. So Tommy, say hello to Tommy, Eric, and Tommy, say hello to Eric.
Tommy, so nice to meet you, man. I've waited my whole life to meet you.
Oh, you too. Why did the DEA attack you physically?
So they you know, I'm a nonviolent offender, never had any violence in my jacket. Even they are well aware of it, but I guess they still felt like they needed to be a little violent with me, and they definitely were. They knocked me off of a stool, you know, the old knee in the back and the forearm in the back of the head, actually broke out 2 of my teeth. I still don't know why they felt like they needed to attack me like that, but they took me to prison, you know, for conspiracy to distribute marijuana. The most they ever found connected to me, they took out under a wheel well of a vehicle in that Hooters parking lot. Like it was 6 ounces of pot is all. And they charged me with conspiracy to distribute over 1,000 kilos of marijuana. And I went to a jury trial because I felt like I wasn't good for that 1,000 kilos. And the jury of my peers actually acquitted me of conspiracy to distribute over 1,000 kilos. And In a federal trial, it's like a state murder trial. If you beat murder 1, they get to consider murder 2. So they were asked, do you think he's good for 100 kilos or more? One of my co-defendants had been picked up with 219 pounds. And, in the feds, the hearsay and everything, they just have to convince the jury of constructive possession that you had the ability to make that pot move or whatever. So they convicted me of the 100 kilos, which wouldn't have been too harsh of a sentence, you wouldn't think. But unfortunately, that judge, as most everyone here knows, I'm sure, has the ability to override that jury finding. So she used that lower standard of beyond the preponderance of evidence to go ahead and sentence me, override that higher beyond a reasonable doubt that we'd like to think our Constitution intended, and we all know it did. And she went ahead and sentenced me for the 1,000 kilos of pot the jury acquitted on, and then added a slew of enhancements, of course, and gave me a 23-year sentence. And and then as time was going on and losing appeals and all of these, every shot that you have, Obama there had started doing clemencies, and so that became my hope, and I got denied there. But not too long after that, I got in contact with Amy Pova, and she started helping me and pushing my name and putting on her site and as one of the top ones. And she got my name to Weldon Angelos, who delivered that list that we were saying 9 of them were granted by Trump. And that kind of started a big fight. A billionaire in Missouri's daughter, Katie Sinkfeld, daughter of Rex Sinkfeld, a big philanthropist. They do a lot of good. She joined the Weldon Project. She's from my hometown, Columbia, Missouri. And she started pushing really hard for my release. And when I did not get it from Trump, which was heartbreaking, huge story. We even had reporters with White House clearance contacting my son saying, your father's getting pardoned by Trump today. And then that list, it didn't come out like when Obama's list would come out in the afternoon. It ended up being, almost midnight when it was released. And when my name wasn't on it, my family was heartbroken. But Katie Sinkfeld pledged to do everything she could to get me out, and she ended up hiring a really well-known ex-U.S. attorney who's now got his own.
When did you come home, Eric?
So I got out. So they filed that motion, and it was successful, and I gained my compassionate release June 24th of this year. So I've just been home 6 months right now.
And how about cell phones? Are you like amazed?
Oh man, I'm learning everything. Everything for the first time. It's really different. Even self checkouts at the grocery store. All of this separation that we have in our society. From the top to the bottom. I mean, just everything they can do to put people's lives on these phones, and it's all crazy to me. These YouTube, what the kids are watching on TV. My girlfriend's 7-year-old daughter, she's like spending hours watching kids play with Play-Doh. It's wild.
Yeah. Where did you do most of your time?
So I did time in a lot of different places, Tommy. I started out in Texas. I was moved from there to Mississippi, from there to Florida, then on to Georgia, and finally ended up in Arkansas. That was the only time I was, even relatively close to home.
And what kind of work did they have you do?
I got into the electrician trade in there, actually. I was able to work with that, which was cool. That was the highest paying job I ever had. I think I made $100 a month.
And that was to help the Defense Department, right?
Yeah, well, what I was doing was mostly around the prison. They had the unicorns that were all, slave labor for the government.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so you weren't making iRobots. You weren't making military weapons.
No, I was not. I was not making military weapons. Thank God. I probably would have laid down on that one.
But you were keeping the prison up and running.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, that's the same thing, Jeff. That's slave labor. Not all the slaves are working on the front line. A lot of them are support, and the fact that we have our federal government, using slave labor right now as we talk is disgusting, and it's dehumanizing. And more than anything, we have to turn our prisons into schools. and if we're going to work people, we have to pay them. Now they may be incarcerated for their own good or for the good of the of society, but that's no excuse why we would not pay them for their services rendered. You know, regardless of where the money goes, just treat people like intelligent beings, which we are. You know, and not like worker ants. You know, so that's what I want to. That's the difference that I want to see. I know we have to incarcerate people for their own good, but incarceration should come with teaching, was correcting behavior. When I was in jail, you know, I threw the I Ching, and the I Ching said that you were in jail for a reason, and the reason is that jails are places where people go to correct their behavior, and that's true in every case. You know, it was our behavior that got us in jail. Now, if you ask me, was my behavior wrong? No. Was it illegal at the time? Yes. Should I have gone to jail? No. But going to jail helped me understand how the system works and where the weaknesses are in the system. And so, you know,
it's time, just like the old timers, to expose everything through film and through being louder, becoming louder, like Jack. And
more than expose. We have to teach and we have to change. We have to change our behavior. That's what the I Ching says. You are in jail to correct your behavior. Now, if our behavior, you know, yeah, we can say, you know, it should be legal, it should have been, we shouldn't have been in jail and everything else. But the truth is that every one of us that went to jail, it was because of our behavior, be it good, bad, or otherwise. And it's also karma, because if I hadn't have gone to jail, I wouldn't become the activist that I become, you know, and so that's the good part. There's always a good part to everybody's life. You know, what you do, you turn adversity into a learning moment, and that's all we can do. And that's why I understand the people, the compassion, everything else, but I also understand the need for us not to find enemies, but to teach strangers and friends. Teach them what they need to know. I'm going to start a podcast soon where I teach people how to smoke.
And the golden rule, Tommy, the golden rule: do unto others, and be heartfelt. Everybody, this is Jeff Eichen with. This is
Tommy, quick question: could we switch that podcast idea to a live talk, maybe weekly within the app called Clubhouse, because there's a large cannabis community culture in crypto, and that culture and that community show up every day. And instead of having to record, we could just experiment with doing it live once a week and seeing what kind of feedback we get. I'd be happy to help you usher that in. Thank you.
Is that Clubhouse?
It's a Clubhouse thing, yeah. I'll tune you into with Tom. Tom's a really incredible steward of Clubhouse and of Twitter Space, so we can talk live.
I love that. Yeah.
So we can talk live, and we can keep having Tommy here once a month, you know, and honor his space. Tommy, we're so delighted to have you. Everybody, this is Jeff Eichen on the Weedsdays show. We're so blessed to have prisoners home, POWs, and it's the war on people, not really the war on drugs. And, you know, I have here a picture of, let's see if I can get my green screen right here, of Michael Thompson. He was released, and that was me in his prison. I went there, I flew all the way to Michigan, and it's up to us to keep advocating for everybody, to end prohibition globally, so no one's killed in some of those countries, and that the medicine can get to our parents in their retirement homes. And so we can build homes. We can do the 3D hempcrete homes like last time we were with Tommy and my friend Noah. So we can build this shit, and it's legal. We have to end prohibition. So Tommy, we're going to come for you to walk us into the White House with Amy and with other people. We're just going to do what we need to do our lifetime. And we'd love to do it in your lifetime too, Tommy, because you may outlive us all.
Well, I keep looking at the ages of these people that are leaving, and I'm older than a lot of them. So good luck with that one, dude.
Well, I found that people that were on purpose live a long time.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, it's all about circulation. You know, as long as you keep the blood circulating through your body, that's the key. And smoking helps me do that, because I got a little puppy, and he's always, if I don't take him out, he'll pee in the house.
Did you say puppy or puffy?
A little dog, a little poodle, and so he's keeping me pretty healthy. But and then I got grow tents. I don't know if I told you about that, but I got a line of grow tents, Tommy Chong grow tents, and so I'm convincing people to grow their own medicine, and take care and know what you're doing.
And no mold. Everybody get your plants out of the rain for mold.
Yeah.
No mold. Live long, live prosper, everybody. And we're so blessed to have everybody. Amy, I want to send it back to you.
Well, I would just like to say very briefly, because I know there's some more people that still haven't had an opportunity to say hi to Tommy and share a little bit about themselves. Chris Conrad is putting notes in the chat, asking how many people Obama granted clemency to. I went to the Obama White House 3 times. We were very involved in his clemency process. I also stood out in front of the White House with posters, and I'm proud to say that the Obama, they're doing a museum, as they always do, a presidential museum in Chicago, and they reached out to me and they asked for my posters. They knew that we stood out in front of the White House. Jeff Mazansky was there. You were there, Jeff. And so I sent them 23 posters of people that were on the Can Do Foundation website, and they're going to put them in the Obama Museum as part of, memorial to the 1,715 clemencies that he granted. And Chris was asking me how many did Obama grant versus Trump. We do have to balance things. Obama didn't grant any until his second term. We were all peppering him in the press, and the press was calling Obama stingy his first term. So he made up for it in his second term and had the clemency initiative. We really want to pressure President Biden to live up to his campaign promises. Tommy, you'd be a great representative for that.
Yes.
They said on the campaign trail that if they were elected, they would free all the pot prisoners. We're 1 year in, and I have spoken personally.
Including Kamala.
Right, yeah, she was very vocal about that. And I have had an opportunity to speak with White House counsel. I made them aware of Diana's case. I made them aware of several other cases that Pedro Marino is serving life. Obama granted 4 of Pedro's brothers clemency. The whole family was wiped out. They all got life. They were out of Houston. And,
what term? What term did he grant those? I'm thinking that the optics may be bad if they do it in the beginning of their presidency, but if they do it on the way out, maybe
it's not bad optics because I'm sorry, I disagree. Those days are over. We keep giving people a buy or an excuse, but Trump granted 200 and some odd in his first term. Nobody complained when Trump granted clemency, and it is true what Tommy said. Alice Marie Johnson was number 1 on my top 25, and she did a video. We knew she could do a video because the warden liked her. Nobody else was allowed to do those videos that you use in the public. And Mike was a social media platform, put a video out of her Kim saw it. The rest is history. She kind of really made Trump aware of the fact that there were so many people deserving of clemency. And one thing I'll give Trump credit for, he thinks, he has very strong opinions, but if you will talk to him, and maybe I know some people don't want to, but he was willing to listen, and granted, there was a lot of criticism, like, well, this is a reality star, or what are we doing here? But she did get him to think about and look at these cases differently. And I don't want to ramble on, because again, there's more people, but nobody criticized Trump and he granted one his first year. His name was Sholem Rabashkin at Christmas. So we really need for President Biden to get busy, because if you launch a clemency initiative with Obama, 30,000 people applied. Do you know how long it takes to go through those cases and vet them? So even with Obama in his second term, he started it in 2014, but by the time he was ready to leave office, it again was hectic. It was crazy. They didn't have time. They ran out of time. Everybody was upset that so many people got left behind, and a lot of wonderful people did get left behind. So I just think President Biden needs to get busy now and also honor his campaign promises.
So don't.
Eric, one last thing.
Yeah.
Eric got an award at the Emerald Cup. Tim Blake, Tommy, I think you gave the award last year at the Emerald Cup Yeah, and Eric was the recipient of it this year, and Randy were there, and so we just need to bring more people home. And I know Jeff Mazansky and Chris Conrad and some other people are on here. I'm going to shut up and let some other people talk.
Well, thank you so much, Amy, for all you do and all you're doing. And we will get on the cannabis, or we'll fly in to utilize our expression, our words, our valor, and our seniorship, that we've walked this planet for so long. Ram Dass is no longer here. Timothy Leary's no longer here. Huxley is no longer here. So it's up to us to walk in and to end prohibition in our lifetime. So I'm rooting for that. I'm really incredibly, I'm going to give us a little DJ horn. Tommy, tell us what your timing's looking like. Tommy's timing.
Sorry to interrupt. We have Rick DeLisi on the line. Richard DeLisi's son. I want you to welcome him, and he's connected now. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much.
Hello, nice to meet you. Nice to meet everybody. My father was released in December 8th last year. We had him home for a year now. Thanks to the Last Prisoners Project and the great people all put together a pro bono team for my father. He was in for 32 years for nonviolent cannabis offense. And I'm just introducing myself, who I am. I'm a definite cannabis advocate and activist, and also working a lot with cannabis in my life. But it's really nice to see that people are being fought for now, because it felt like a lost cause for so long. And when my dad got out, it almost felt surreal. And it's been an amazing year. It's been completely awesome. Had support from a lot of people since his release, with his reintroduction to life. And it's really important that we get the rest of these people out, because I can't even explain. My whole family felt in prison just because my father was in prison,
Thank you, Rick, for being a family member. The next film I want to do myself is about the families. We want to interview people like yourself, because Eddie Leb, before he passed away, I interviewed him. And the one line I can take to the White House, he says, "You put me in jail, you put my family in jail."
That's exactly the thing. In the time my father was sentenced, he lost his mother, his father, his son. My younger brother died in 2009 of an overdose, and my sister had a head-on car collision. So it's like the things that changed in his life and what happened to the whole family, from him not being present and a functional cog that he was, is like, it's I'm just glad it's all over with, and I'm glad we're moving forward now.
Bless you, brother. Bless you. Thank you for coming
Bless.
on.
Thank you very much.
Chris Conrad, why don't you give us a shout?
I would love to. Hi, everybody, including Tommy.
This is the end of the year show, and Chris is a moderator.
Talking about on the chat here has been that I don't know if you have any leverage with Kamala Harris, Tommy, but I think that it would be really good for her to get involved in this because it would give her a good issue that gets a lot of support, getting prisoners out. She could get some good photo opportunities and raise her image up as and also fulfill her campaign promise.
Let's go next week. Let's go next week.
Right. So I wanted to point out one thing about 2021 for people, though, that's very disturbing, which is that, especially since we're going into 2022, a new election cycle, is that in 2 states, the state Supreme Court has overturned voter initiatives that legalize marijuana, that being Mississippi and South Dakota. And so, this is this whole series of things ever since the 2000 election in where the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the election result by calling an end to the counting with no constitutional authority whatever to do it, and put in George Bush, even though he lost the election, that whole thing of courts messing with elections is getting worse and worse. And now we have 2 states overturning voter elected bill initiatives to legalize marijuana. And God knows what that means coming into 2022. Because the Republicans obviously, or I'm not going to say the Republicans, but the Trumpsters obviously filed 60 cases to try to overturn the national election in 2020, and so they didn't win. But now they did manage to pull in these 2. So I think that we're seeing the corruption of the courts is expanding, and their disregard for elections is expanding along with it. So I'm very concerned about that. The other thing that I would say that my wishes for this coming year is I'd like to have a more balanced weather. We just went through 2 years of the most heinous drought in history in California. Now we're getting flooded out all over the place. It's a little less flooding, a little more good weather would be kind of nice for us. But things are moving along right now. And I also agree with Tommy that the idea that people really need to wake up to all the good stuff that Biden has been doing since he's been in office. Even this thing right now, all this excitement about the supply chain and the inflation, I think it almost comes off like idiocy to me. I go to the stores, the shelves are full. The prices are up a few cents. When I'm looking at the price of housing and all this other stuff, and it's like quadruple before this, and all of a sudden this year everyone's worked up about it in the supply chain.
Well, and Larry Serban is making 4x8 sheets of plywood out of hemp.
You're right on. So all we need to do is use hemp to fill in that gap. And I want to congratulate Larry Serban for his world record setting hemp crop. And one of my other wishes for this coming year is that people would stop growing so much CBD, cannabinoid hemp, and focus on some fiber hemp and give us some earthquake resistant, fire resistant, storm resistant, mold resistant, pest resistant housing out here in California for our homeless people. So, I could go on for a long time, but just telling everybody, Chris Conrad here. Glad you guys are out there. I totally respect and admire your activism for what you've done. And I look forward to working with all of you in the coming years. And let's get Luke Starmazzo and all the other drug lord POWs out this year.
Amen, everybody.
Amen.
Amen. And Jeff Mazansky, say hello to Tommy.
How you doing, Tommy? Good to see you.
I'm trying to get back on. Where are we? Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you
Here
go.
we go. I know it. Hey, Jeff. How you
Doing
doing,
good.
So just before you guys talk, this is not the end of the year wrap up. It's the end of the year roll up.
Roll up, huh? I got one rolled ready.
So say hello to Tommy, Jeff, and Tommy, say hello to Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man.
I got mine rolled up and ready. Got to have that medicine. But I hope everybody's having a great time and had good holiday season. And the New Year's coming. And the best news we could have is if they do change these laws and get all of our brothers and sisters out, because they do need to be home with their families.
How long were you in, Jeff? How long were you in?
2 years short of 22 years. 23 years, somewhere around there. Or 2 months short, rather. So
Where did you do
we
your
had
time?
right here in Missouri, right.
The whole time?
They sent me to Texas for about a week and a half and decided that they couldn't keep me down there. That I was too high valued of a prisoner and too apt to escape. So they sent me home. To Missouri.
And are you off for?
They had several people down there in there for murder, and they kept them. So I don't understand it.
Are you off parole now?
I'm off everything. That's right. Legal to grow, legal to smoke here in Missouri.
Congratulations.
So
you did you ever have an ankle bracelet?
No, I was on parole when I got out, and there was no time limit on it. The parole officer I had, actually about 6 months after I was on parole, he said, "Man, I don't even know why you're coming down here or why you're on parole. You shouldn't be." So he was real good about it. From then on, I signed a few papers and sent them to him, and then one day he called me up and said, "Hey, guess what? You're not on parole anymore. Have a great life."
That's a travesty. You have to check in when you're already checked out of the Hanoi Hilton.
Well, yeah, they actually tell you when I first got out, they told me, well, you had to be home every night, sleep in your own bed. You had to do this and that. And I said, look, I've been locked up, 22 years, and if you think I'm gonna be out on a date with somebody and tell her I got to go home, you're insane. Let's go put these cuffs on right now. Take me back.
So parole's a bunch of crap, everybody, and we're blessed that Jeff is free 100%. Jeff, say hello to the other prisoners that are online. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, how y'all doing? Glad you're out here with us. It's fantastic. And you know what? Let's just keep working at it, and all of us keep working, and we'll get all of our brothers and sisters with us, because that's what we need. Let's have a real good Happy New Year and have them all home.
That's our legacy, everybody. That's our legacy. Tommy, any final words to Jeffrey? Did we lose Tommy? Everybody? Let's see. Can everybody hit?
He's probably in the bathroom, because it's just when you go to the bathroom that they say, "Where are you?"
Tommy.
I'm back.
Hey.
I got another call. I got another call to take, so I gotta do my gracious goodbye and thank yous and Happy New Year's and let's just keep doing what we're doing. Okay.
Amen.
We love you. Happy New Year, Chong.
Okay.
Take care, Tommy.
Welcome home, Tommy. Yes, Happy New Year.
I'll see you guys. I'll see you next year.
Happy New Year, Tommy.
Happy New Year, Tommy.
See you in a year.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Everybody, stay on. So we're coming after Tommy, everybody. We're going to have him help us get to the White House and this Magilla gorilla, and we're going to go in with the apes and the gorillas. And we have.
Can I say something real quick, Jeff?
We have Amy Povar, our co-host today. Come on in.
Well, I just bring Diana kind of started in full circle because Yesenia is with her here, and I'd just like to say that Weed Maps did an amazing museum. Gosh, now I guess it's been like 2 years ago. That thing was massive. And they reached out to me and they wanted me to identify 4 prisoners for them that would be illustrated there in the museum that was here in Los Angeles. And Yesenia, because you were talking about how the children do the time, I'd like Yesenia to have just a little opportunity to how old she was, but she flew in. I got to meet her personally. Her mother was one of the people in the massive, amazing Weed Maps Museum that we got to hear Diana's voice. I'm going to get choked up. When she was in prison, again, you couldn't interview people, but Diana and Weed Maps recorded her over the phone. And then as people went through the museum, you could hear Diana's voices. And it's almost surreal that Diana is sitting here right now and is now completely off her ankle monitor. But Yesenia, share how old you were when your mom went to prison in this journey, because you were a force to bring your mom home as well.
Thank you so much. So I was only 15 years old when they busted into my house and they raided the whole, I had the whole, I can't even count how many men were there, and it was quite traumatizing. Basically, thank God that CPS didn't take me. I did have my older brother with me at the time, but it was just so surreal, and I suffered a lot. I basically was homeless at the age of 15, 16 years old out here in the streets on my own. I had my child very early on, and thank God that's what saved me from the streets, or from any type of trouble. I've been fighting for my mom since the Obama administration, and I've learned so much about the system, about cannabis, about fighting, about just basically fighting for her rights, fighting for her, being her voice out here, because in there you feel hopeless, you feel like you have no hope, and out here we are her vessel. We are their vessels to be able to speak for them, to be able to fight for them, to move for them. And I'm very grateful for everybody, for your prayers, for your thoughts, for your work, for people like you, for everybody, for this podcast. And
you have your mama home now too.
And then I have my mother, my sister.
Yeah, that's so dope that you're sitting with your
You have your mama.
That's my
Yay.
sister. No, but I'm so grateful. I haven't been able to stop smiling. I'm in those beliefs, and she's like, here.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to be me. It's so beautiful to have Amy as my in my farmy. We're planting seeds to end prohibition, and the farmy is here. We are all family in this circle, in this room today. I want everybody in this room to stay close to me, including you, Mr. Donnie, and everybody in Colombia, and all the projects that we have going. Let's get on the relief program, and let's find me a nonprofit that I can put the money away properly to give restitution, a gift, a Christmas gift to all of our prisoners for food and shelter and computers. We love you so much.
Note, Jeff,
yeah.
Freedom Grow, because Randy is here kind of representing Freedom Grow.
Sure.
They put money on the commissary, on the books for commissary, as they did when Diana was in, and
they did that for my father also.
Right.
Exactly, and they don't get enough credit. I mean,
they don't.
They carved out a lane that is so necessary. The public doesn't know how expensive it is in prison, and we buy our tennis shoes, we buy sweats, we buy instant coffee. They even polygrip for elder. I mean, is that disgusting that people in prison who have dentures have to buy polygrip? I've seen, I've seen that on a commissary list, and they sell it at 7-Eleven prices. That it's not Walmart prices, and they have a captive audience. And so I just really have to give a shout out. Thank you, Randy, for coming on. Stephanie used to be one of the co-hosts, but they are incredible, and they go to all of these events. They are Secret Sesh. They were at the Emerald Cup, and I was there with them. They have booths. They put in time and energy and elbow grease. And Stephanie served time in prison as well, who started it, and twice in Dublin, where I was. She had to go to prison 2 different times for marijuana and cured her own cancer. So just a big shout out to Freedom Grow and all they do and continue to do for prisoners who are still left behind.
I unmited. I want to say thank you, if I may, Jeff, about Freedom Grow. When I was in the joint several years before I come out, Amy, you were one of them, along with Stephanie, that sent me photos of you guys in front of the White House. And since that day, when I received those letters, I was doing a life sentence with no parole, natural death. And the feeling you get when you receive something from a advocacy group gives you a sense of faith and a sense of hope that you're going to get up out of the struggle that you're dealing with. And now I found myself as the vice president of Freedom Grow, and I've been blessed that they've asked me. So just last week, we went to North Carolina. I rented a car in Charlotte with another volunteer. We drove 2 hours out of Charlotte to a town called, it was a small town, man, near Curry, North Carolina. And in a little clapboard house was a lady that was 27 years old with 7 children, 11 Every one of them was 11 and under. So we went there, and we had some sponsors help us and donate some funds, and we gave them $1,000 in gift cards, Walmart, to buy toys. The grandmother was living with them, and that it was a small clapboard house. When I say small, small. The refrigerator had hardly anything in it. So we took them toy shopping, and when we pulled out, them kids come out with the biggest smiles, and they're yelling, "The people are here, the people are here, the people are here." And so when I get out of the car, all these kids, they just was on my legs hugging, and just so much happiness. And we changed the way these kids view people now. Their memories of Christmas, because they know that Dad put this together. We told them that Dad organized all of this. So their outlook towards their dad now is such a hero. And so we gave them all the gift cards, and they went shopping. We took them on a shopping spree, and to see these kids, it was just amazing. I think you should be able to see it on Stephanie's Instagram or Facebook page. We'll have it up on our webpage soon.
That's a beautiful legacy.
And then we gave them a check for $1,000 to buy groceries and pay our bills, and we bought the grandmother a laptop. So this is what we do at Freedom Grow. And we do the WISH program, as you know, Amy, every holiday. If you're a cannabis prisoner right now, and we vetted you, we will grant, if you're a mother or father of a cannabis prisoner, we will grant you a wish on their birthdays and on every holiday. We will make sure you have the power and you feel empowered, and you know that your life matters and you have a support system. And that's what we do at Freedom Grow. So thank you, Amy, for mentioning us.
I love our farming. We are gearing up to wear our green jackets, our hemp clothing. I mean, I've got hemp clothing. We can get it from Larry Serban and make our uniforms to be walking with non-toxic fabric, building our homes, having our medicine, and bringing our prisoners home by ending prohibition. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Randy.
I see. Okay, I have to give a minute to Ethan, because I see that Ethan has stepped into the picture. So Ethan is the son of Eric, because we really do need to make some time for the children who have suffered.
Oh, hey, Ethan. How's it going, Ethan? Hey.
Ethan, you got the floor. What would you like to say and share about this whole journey?
I'd like to say it's been a very long journey, but thanks to people like you, Amy, you're really the first to start. He's home. It has been for 6 months now. The 6-month anniversary was just a few days ago, right before Christmas. And we've enjoyed joining the advocacy groups and helping as much as we can since we've been home. But he went away, when I was like 5 years old, after I had just started kindergarten. I didn't see him until I had just graduated, like 2 months before I graduated high school. So it was pretty much K through 12. It was a really long time, but it's great to have him back now.
I can see your dad in your eyes, man. And how happy you are to have your papa.
Oh yeah, man, it's been great.
Ethan, what was that like when somebody reached out to you and told you that your dad was getting clemency? That was kind of strange. Just somebody reached out to you randomly?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Someone had reached out and asked like what my father's name was, I think. And I had told him Eric because she had saw that we had similar last names, and then had said, "Oh great, he's getting a pardon or clemency from Trump," and then that was pretty much all they said.
And they used to work at the White House with him or something?
They said that they had, or it said on their bio or something that she had White House clearance or whatever with press, but yeah, it was pretty weird. It was like quite the letdown after he didn't get it. We were really expecting that time, but luckily it wasn't too much longer that the compassionate release got him out.
Well, there was some miscues. The Trump administration asked me for a few names. Michael Montalvo, who's not a cannabis prisoner, but I know Luke's family he was on the list, Luke Scarmazzo, and so was Michael Montalvo and some other people. And just to put it in context, and I think everybody, to help everyone understand, it's the Department of Justice that keeps pushing back on all of this. And I was a little disappointed to hear that the Biden administration had said that they're going to let the process go through OPA and DOJ. We need to remove the Office of the Pardon Attorney from DOJ, because what happens is the prosecutors get last say. They get final word if we stick with this same model. And a lot of them are vindictive. And if you didn't work with them, they don't want you to come home. So they could very well have been that, there was a situation. I don't know about Eric. I can't speak for Eric, but I do know with some of the others that they got removed from the list at the very last second. And all of us that are on this and all the people in activism, we have to address this, and we have to ask DOJ to stand down and let justice prevail. These are archaic sentences, draconian mandatory minimums. And with all of our voices together, I feel like we can make a difference in 2022. I really do.
And Amy, can you describe to the audience what compassionate release actually is?
It came about, once again, we have to give credit where credit is due. Trump, through Jared Kushner, wanted the First Step Act passed. It was started off as prison reform, and a lot of us fought for sentencing reform. And but in that First Step Act, they expanded compassionate release. It used to be left completely to the wardens. If the warden was willing to allow you to proceed forward with a compassionate release, then you might have a chance. But they said no to all of them. Even if you were dying, they would deny them. They said, oh, it would be a disservice to, the courts. And so First Step Act said that if your warden denies your compassionate release within either the date that the warden says no, or 30 days after you ask the warden, if the warden doesn't answer, you can go to your judge. So we've been getting people home like Diana Marquez by putting a motion in court. And let me tell you something, Texas is not granting very many of these, and Diana is out of Texas. So that was a huge victory. Judge Briones, big shout out to him for having the balls to be one of the few Texas judges that granted hers and allowed her to get off that ankle monitor, because she was out on CARES Act. But that's what a compassionate release is. You have to show medical conditions. You have to show extraordinary circumstances. That's the terminology in there. Some people get it because they saved the life of someone, like a guard or somebody in prison.
And Kristen Floor's papa, what about Kristen?
Well, yeah, her father died in prison, and unfortunately, she's in activism because of that. And wish she were on today, because Kristen is a force and a beautiful soul and does so much for Freedom Grow, as Randy knows. And we love Kristen.
Well, everybody, this is Weedsday, and we're running into the new year. Pray, take your 42 seconds, and we'll do that next week. I'll do the 42-second meditation. I don't have that queued up today, but let's go around the horn and give final words. Donnie, final words. Donnie E. Worsty. Donnie, do you hear us? Give us your final words, Donnie, and hope for the future. This is going around the horn, giving final words.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jeff. Listen, Cecilia and Diana, that was amazing. I'm really happy for you. I saw that story come through yesterday and for this morning, and I just really hope you have a great life together and all that. And everybody else here, you've had a little more time out. I'm really happy with everything I heard in this show today and the efforts that are being made. Randy, thank you for all you're doing, and everybody else. Dan, we're going to work together. I'm working on it. Jeff,
yes,
thank
sir.
you for being the host.
Yeah, we'll be seeing you at our mini relief forum events, Donnie. We'll pull you in, and we'll work with Tom with you. And thank you for all you do. And Diana, any final words and hope for the rest of our prisoners inside?
Okay, I just wanna keep praying for them to come out home from the clemency for next year, and keep praying for them. And I just says I'm ready to soar my wings like an eagle, like start living the normal life. And I want them to do the same thing because it's now worth it to be wasting time in prison whenever we can be with our family. That's not just happy. Wish you happy holidays to everybody.
Mucho gusto, Feliz Año Nuevo, and we will accept you as a new poster queen. So thank you, and your lovely daughter. I'm glad for reunion. When Richard DeLisi's daughter and him joined on our show last Christmas, like right around now, it was just a blessing. It warms my heart to see you home and to get off of like Jeff was saying, the parole was a beautiful time when he got to be even more free. And now that you don't have ankle bracelet, and you told that incredible story of feeling it buzzing you at 4 a.m. when it wasn't even on there, bless your soul, bless the holidays, and may you be a beautiful example for our films and shows to come, to share with the world that nobody deserves what you got.
Yes, amen. I received the blessings. Thank you very much.
Okay. And how about Eric? You have any final? No. Dan Hare. We're going around the horn. Dan, what do you got to say for final words and hope for the future?
Honestly, just many blessings to everybody that's here, and prayers and just prayers to all of those that are still not where they should be. They should be home. They're the people that are here: Amy, Chris Conrad, Tommy, who was on Jeff, yourself, Don Eworshafter. There are so many people who have spent decades of their lives trying to reverse the idiocy of prohibition and the heinous acts that are created in its name. And to see Diane and Eric, their kids, the joy, the love that's still in their eyes, their faces, with their family sitting next to them. I hope that there's 40,000 more stories like that very soon, with everybody else coming out of prison who's been wrongfully imprisoned for this plant that has only served humanity. And just God bless you all.
Bless you, Dan. And your father would say, hamp, hamp, hooray.
He would.
Yeah. So next we have God Cloud. Final words, God Cloud, and hope for the future in 22.
Yeah, first off, I just want to say, thanks to everybody who came here today to, be on this call and be on this, on this live stream, because we are setting an example. We're showing that, so many communities can come together here in support of such a great cause and everything. And like I was saying before, this is medicine, and using incarceration to quote unquote correct people when they need healing is, wrong on so many levels. And we all know it, and I never forget, but I can't imagine being gone for 20 something years, when I came back from what I had to do. And I remember my daughter was sleeping and I picked her up and I'm talking to her and I could see she's waking up. She couldn't even, she was freaking out that she was hearing my voice that close. So I just, want to say blessings to everybody who's, reunited with their families like this right now, going into the new year. And I definitely want to just give, personal special thanks to my wife, my daughter, my mother, and my good friend, Cameron of Trenos and the Lived Experience, who has a podcast, who helped me out and supported me when I was down and everything. So yeah, that's my final word. Much love, everybody. let's keep doing this good work in the future. Let's go.
Thank you, God Cloud. And we're going to have you on stage with Snoop and Willie when we do our big stadium concert. And all the prisoners are going to be in the Dragon. We can't wait to manifest some of these things to just make our joy louder and get in and get the rest of them home. How about you, Eric? Any final words?
Really urge everybody watching today, those of us here on the screen that I'm seeing, I know are extremely active in this, but when I got home, one thing that I knew I had to do was really actively join the fight. And my son and I have both been traveling around the country with Amy, with Randy, Kristen, who's not here, Stephanie, all these advocacy groups, especially Freedom Grow. We've been at every event we can get to. In the last 6 months, we've had to have attended at least a dozen, and going and being a part of those booths, gathering these signatures that Tommy's going to take to the White House for us has been our pleasure, and we have enjoyed it more than anything. It has helped me reintegrate into society more than anything that I've done. I'm so happy that I haven't sat around this town here in mid-Missouri and just let whatever take its course. I feel great to have gotten out there and joined them. And I just want everybody that has the ability to actively get involved, stay involved, push for this fight. I mean, the struggle is real. My son, missed 13 years of my life, and a lot of these children, a lot more than that. And the tragedies that happen are horrific. So we got to get everybody home. We got to join actively. I want to thank Tim Blake of the Emerald Cup LPP for giving me the Social Justice Award. I mean, it was only 6 months of joining, and I really feel like I didn't deserve it, but I'm so grateful that Amy Pova and Stephanie Landa went up on stage with me to receive that award. It was just a tremendous blessing, and the unity that I feel with this group of people and the connectedness and the cannabis family is huge, man. And I don't even see it. I mean, it's like being on an ashram in India, or better. Like when I'm at these events, it feels so good. So yeah, let's get these 30,000 plus offenders home immediately, please. Let's fight.
Okay. Amen. Amen. Weedsday here, everybody. And we're so blessed that we can bring incredible humans on the freaking box here. And we're not even in the same city or town, but we're vibrating, we're resonating with children of parents that were in jail for a plant. Globally, if you're listening to me, Portugal and Uruguay and Mexico, we don't use too many, swear words, but I say cabron, to prisoners in jail, and so, yeah, so the drug war, and it's the war on people, everybody. And so it's our turn. Look who's left in our room today. We have mostly people that have been in jail for more than 10 years. And my heart cannot imagine. My empathy goes to you. Welcome home. And please stay part of our poster children. And we're going to come to you with more interviews and more movie projects. But it's not about that. It's about first things first. Let's end prohibition. This is the end of the year wrap up. World 420 Day, everybody. We have a 42-second meditation normally, but it's not queued up today. So thank you, everybody. Jeff Mazansky, final words.
Well, everybody said just about everything that could be said. It's, without the people and support, we have nothing. But it's our job as activists to get out there and tell them what's going on and tell them the stories of our children that has had to suffer, be without their parents, about your family members dying and not being able to go through it. That's what they understand, and that's what we have to do. We got to hit home with it. And as far as them changing the laws, Mr. 68% wanting complete legalization, and they can't do it. There's a problem with that. I don't know why. I always thought 51% should be ruling, right? And it's not. I don't know how we're going to straighten it out. Something's got to be done, and I guess it's going to have to be up to us to get it done. And whoever else we can inform and get to know, education. But you know what? The prayer for the new year is, let's get everybody home by next year, if possible. And I know it is if everybody sticks together and gets out.
Bless you, Jeff. And it was my pleasure to be part of your release. And I don't take credit for nothing. I'm the Pee Wee Herman of pod. I want to make everybody really understand what's going on. I still talk to elders in the pod community. They go, they're still prisoners in jail for pod? You mean they didn't overturn that or retro that? So Chris Conrad, final words.
All right. Well, I wasn't going to say hemp hemp hooray, but you beat me to that. So I would just say Kanamaste, which is recognizing the spiritual value of cannabis, and also have a hashish New Year. But then on the way out the door, I want to mention my 3 websites I want people to go see: theleafonline.com, chrisconrad.com, and kanamaste.org. And thank you guys so much for your work. And I'm so happy to have so many of you out with your families reunited in freedom at this point. And it took too long, but we've just been working our hearts on this for a long time, and it's a slow process. That's all there is to it. So thank you for all being here.
Jeff, I just got to jump in real quick, Jeff. Chris Conrad and Mickey Norris, when I was in prison, they were my advocates. And they did rallies and they had posters and they did a book called Shattered Lives, put me on the cover of it. I owe you such a huge debt of gratitude. And you were the OGs that were doing this when really the nation didn't want to have anything to do with us. We were all scum. The drug war was at its apex, Daddy Bush and Reagan and everybody. And you guys stepped up. And we're walking on your we're standing on your shoulders. Thank you, Chris.
My heart is open every time we bring this show to a point of blessed spirituality that allows us to know that we are humans and we don't need to be locked up for nonviolence. So the Jim Crow Act, if I could do a movie, that would be one of my movies. Let's get Spike Lee and do the new Jim Crow, because there are more, colored people of any other color in jail for a plan. And now it's time to hear from Randy. Randy, any final words?
Thank you. I want to say, first of all, thank you for having this platform. It just truly is needed to share the word and the activism that's going on with all these activist groups. I can't say enough about it. One thing about it, and I've noticed everybody on this show, on this call, is leading their intention from their heart. And when you live with your intention from the heart, the right people come into your life at the right time, the right opportunities. And that's how we create and manifest what it is that we truly need in our life. And that is freedom for all these cannabis prisoners. And we are making headway. There's a lot of work to do, left to do. And 2022, I just want to say we are blessed because we have so many people involved and working with each other. I feel like I have acquired another son with Ethan. I love and got mad respect and love both of Eric and Ethan. They both know that. So thank you. I've always loved being in their presence and looking forward to the next event that we can share some moments together. And if you haven't checked out Need for Weed on Netflix, it's a show that I dropped about 3 months ago. I just want to plug that for real quick. And I got a book coming out that you'll see this year. It'll be in every Barnes and Noble on the planet called Survival of the Fastest. So with that, bless you all. Thank you, Jeff, for the invite. Amy, thank you, because you invited, you and Christian sent me an invite today, and it's a pleasure. And Chris, pleasure. I met you at the Emerald Cup, and just love you guys, you and your wife. I thank you. Dan, pleasure to meet you.
And pleasure and many blessings to you too.
And hope we run across each other. I'm sure we will, man.
I look forward to that.
Met. And Jeff, right on, brother. I'm glad you're out. Both Jeffs. I was talking about Jeff. Thank you, sir. Pleasure meeting you. Sorry you had to go through the experience of a couple of decades in the joint. I can relate real big to that. Just real briefly, this is how crazy the Justice Department can be. I was put on something called high accountability. So out of the 27 years, 18 of them I had to wear around my neck something called an orange card. It's a big bright card with your face on it, with your number on it.
What?
And if you're in a high accountability, and it was just limited, it wasn't a lot of us, you had to wear this card, and every 2 hours I had to report to an officer. Every 1 hour on after 4 p.m., every 1 hour on the weekends, and every 1 hour on the holidays. This is, once I got into the maximum security prisons, this is where they gave that to me in Leavenworth, my 1991, they gave it to me. And I finally got rid of it around 2007. So it's crazy the shit that they implement in some of those programs that society doesn't even hear about or know about. And it is what it is, but it needs to, I call it cruel and unusual punishment for anything concerning this plant. I want to thank you all. And if you haven't visited freedomgrow.org, please visit us and support us. We're all about the cannabis prisoners and their families. Thank you. And I'm done speaking.
Speak your truth, man. You did great. Yeah, I'm really proud of you, man, for coming out and being articulate and doing your projects and being on board with us. So everybody here, we're just really blessed. Who have we?
Diana, come on, Jeff.
Who do we? Diana.
Last words for Diana and Yesenia.
Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Amy. Amy, you roll us out here.
Okay. Well, Diana, I want to have last words, but I feel a little bit remiss that I feel like I do have to reference, because these are some of the people who are still in that we're still fighting for. Raquel Esquivel was a Border Patrol agent and out on the CARES Act, and she did everything right. But they were doing an audit, and they saw there was one missed call. And so they picked her up, hit her with an escape charge. She was 7 months pregnant, took her back into prison. She's a first-time offender for marijuana. She had to have the baby in Carswell, where there were active COVID cases. And even when they finally did the DHO hearing, which is an investigation, they saw that she did call in. Her cell phone proved it, and her boss wrote a letter. And you know what they said? They said, well, we don't care. We want to send a message that you got to do better. This is the horrific system that we live under. But real quick, Donald Fugit, Pedro Marino, Hector McGurk, Ishmael Lira, Edwin Rubis, who Kristen Flora writes to every single day, Jose Cabez, Travis Longoria, Daniel Longoria. Those are just a few that are still sitting in prison. And there's some family members who are watching. Carla, Donald Fugit's her son.
Amy, isn't it true that we don't know all the names because the system's so fucked up?
Oh my God. Freedom Grow has over 150 names. I mean, I only have a few people on my website.
No, but I mean, even the government doesn't even know where they all are.
Oh, we just keep looking for them. We keep finding them. Freedom Grow's got the best and the most comprehensive list that I know of, and they've shared it with just beautifully with everybody who's asked for it. We do have a change.org petition with a lot of those names on it. But Diana, yesterday you got the best news in the world. Would really love for you to give us your final word. And anyway, take the floor.
Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I'd just like to thank you, the Almighty God. Thank you to you, because you are the one that connect me with all the foundation. With Miss Stephanie Landa was the first one that you connect me, and her help, her support with financially helped me a lot. And not only me, many of us. And then my guardian angel, Miss Jody Rose, it was the same guardian angel that you give it to my roommate, Denise Quintanilla. Through Denise Quintanilla, I knew about you. She was the one that asked me, there's a lady asking for people that apply for clemency. Do you want me to provide your name? I said, yes, give my information. That's how I start contact you. And I just thank God for send all the angels in a human form to help us. And I just want to gather with you all to advocate for the rest of the people that are still in prison and to help my brother-in-law too. That he has a life sentence for marijuana too, Hector Marquez, and I just keep praying and.
I really feel horrible, Diana. We have got to put him on the list, Hector Marquez. And so we all need to bond together to lift him up. And thank you for reminding me, because he has fallen through the cracks.
We're coming for everybody. And
I has something to say, Jeff.
Okay.
I want to just go ahead and tell everybody thank you. And I want to let all the prisoners know, if you can communicate this over to them, that, this is a ray of light. This is some hope for them, that as long as they believe, as long as they keep praying, God is always one. He is going to set you up. That everybody always asks me, how did you do it? How did you do it? And I tell them, there is no other explanation but the higher power, but my God, because he has a whole squad set up for me. He got everything set up. And honestly, that's all you got to do is pray and believe, and everything will be set up, because all things are possible through him. And you just got to keep believing and praying, and everything is possible. And they're all going to come home, because it's going to be over really soon.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Amen. Amy, let's come to you. Any final words and hope for 2022?
I feel like I've talked enough. I just want to thank you, Jeff. How about a big shout out, and God bless you, Jeff. You've had Tommy Chong on numerous times, and when Michael Peltier and Jimmy Romans and a whole lot of people came home under the Trump administration, you had Tommy come on and talk to them, and that meant the world. And you know what? It meant a lot today for Diana and Eric and and Randy and everybody to connect, because we all grew up watching those movies, Up in Smoke and everything. We watched it again the other day. And so this was a special moment and a wonderful way to round up the year. And it's because of the beautiful heart and soul, and you sharing your platform. And we all benefit from your work, Jeff. And I look forward to working with you in the future, Jeff, and with everybody on this platform. Let's all come together. We're stronger. We're united. And I know that we can achieve this, but we cannot relax. We just can't relax, because DOJ makes a lot of money with their forfeiture process and their budgets, the budgets that they get for prohibition of marijuana.
And private prisons, private.
Yeah. So we're up against a hydra-headed monster that's very powerful. And but guess what? God is on our side, like Diana and Yesenia said. He's on our side. We're on the right side of history. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody. Dan, this is really the first time I've been able to connect with you. I
can't wait to meet you in real life.
I know. Yeah, I look forward to it as well. So 2022, here we come.
Well, everybody globally, don't forget Amy's face or name after today, because her project and her knowledge and her movement is incredible. So I mirror you, Amy, with your gratitude for me. I mirror back at you that you acknowledge what I'm doing. I acknowledge what you're doing, and everybody here. It is up to us to walk into the White House. Let's grab Tommy. Let's do what we can, and let's use the right words. Let's be we only get one chance, right? And let's do it right, and follow our lead. With Amy and I, we're working in the background to come up with the plan, and with Donnie, with Chris, with all of our ex-POWs, yay, we can say that. You are our testimonials, and you can come with us too. I don't know how many they'll let us into the meetings or when we get this going, but we can bring in some videos. So I'm here. I'm dedicated to editing all of our videos to get an end to prohibition. Dan Harris, like terror, Jack's son, he started this whole mess. And I was there, and I met Jack, and it was just a pleasure to see somebody so powerful and so he was schwitzing, he was sweating, he was screaming, and he said, "Why should anybody be in jail for something I did 10 minutes ago?" That's Jack. And Jack always. And so Dan's the lighter side of Jack, but he's carrying on the legacy. We all have a legacy. And I'm loving our group right here. Chris just dropped off. And thank you so much, everybody. And I'm going to share screens right now. Dawn, do you have one more thing to say? Okay, Dawn's just waving goodbye. Everybody hold up a 3 for weed, and I'll do a screenshot here. That's W. Put it forward, Randy. Forward. Turn it around. Turn it around. There you go. No gangies. No. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got it. So hemp hooray, everybody. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen with you, and do our outro again. And I'll see you privately or together. Thank you. Peace out, God Cloud. I'll talk to you offline, and Donnie talk to you offline, Jeff offline, Dan offline, and the mother and daughter team, welcome home. Eric, welcome home. Randy, welcome home. And Jeff, obviously, you're my bro, you're my buddy, and it's been my pleasure, not just this year, but all the years. I've been on this for 30 years, so it's time. And 1937 is when they started this fucking war, and let's get it done, and cloak ourselves just like the Romulans and go into the White House with a cloak and go in and say the right thing and get this done.
Okay.
Here we go.
Bye, everybody.
Yes, I'm going to share my screen and do our end of the year wrap up here.
And Jeff, we got to get together soon. We're both here in Missouri. So.
Hemp hooray, everybody. We have changed our time. Please take note.
Absolutely.
Please join us this week. This is Jeff Eichen with Weedsday and World 420 Day. We have Sir Tommy Chong on this week, and I'm so blessed that we made it through another year, and we're going to give you the updates and tell you exactly how we're feeling about the future. Hemp hooray, love and light, and remember, nobody should be in jail for a plan. So everybody, we remember our prisoners in jail, our prisoners coming home, and this is Jeff Eichen for the end of the year blessing for World 420 Day, and for all of our guests and pleasurable, beautiful humans. Look at that. Tommy Lasorda, these people that left the planet already. We're still here, so let's get it done. Amazing show today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us and being part of the solution. All these musicians, all these incredible humans. The punishment doesn't fit the crime for cannabis and people in jail for life. For life. Are you joking? And so just look at this list of everybody who did good work. I learned from Larry King and from Oprah how to pause and how to give space to the interview. So with my next film, everybody, we're going to interview the families and just everybody. Good job, Cicely. Rest in peace, Duke, Booty, and the Animals founding member, and just all these beautiful humans died at 30. The 27 Club, Ricky Powell, and America knowledge. Just force and hip hop photography and Sound of Music. Look at that, Leon Sphinx. Just all these humans, no matter what side of the road you're on. The red or the blue side, we're all one. Billy Brown, we love you, Billy, and your family. Mary Wilson, hello, baby love. Larry Flint, I did a magazine cover for him once on his motorcycle magazine. Chick Corea, what the hell? Johnny Pacheco, what the heck, And Rush, you did your thing, and everybody has their legacy. So incredible. Prince Marky D, music producer, and all the people that I'm showing here. Fred Siegel, I went to his stores. I sold stuff in his store. when I was a handmade artist in LA. And the Moonshiners, dude, Roger Mudd, Marvin Hagler, Elgin Baylor. Look at that, Elgin, baby. And Catherine, 22 years old. And George Siegel, amazing. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Jessica Walters, and she was arrested. Beverly, and Gordon Liddy, the Watergate scandal. And BB, come on, BB, funk rock band. And James Hampton. Wait, let's go back to BB. I want to see if I can go back to BB here. No, it's not letting me go back. So, and Beats and Prince Philip did a good job. DMX, come on, baby, party up. You know, Lee Ocker, Rin Tin Tin, Bernie, he made off. Yeah. And so actress Helen McCrory and Felix. Oh man, look at that. The Addams Family, dude. Black Rob, hip hop, Black Rob, Anthony Powell, Jim Steinman, rock singer Bay City Rollers. And look, Shock G here, founding member of the Digital Underground. Man, I love that band. And somebody who went to the moon, Kirk Douglas's wife, Olympia Dukakis, excellent human. And we have Bobby Unser. We have George Jung here, and Paul Mooney, my buddy from LA. I hung out with Paul many, many times. And so all the souls that are not here, help us from the other side. How about that? Help us from the other side, Gavin. And BJ Thomas, raindrops keep falling on my head. Robert Hogan and Hogan's Hero, I guess. And Clarence Williams, look at that. Remember that? and some beauties here from the universe. And Cinderella, that was a great band, but no greater than the Stones. And Watts. Ed Asner was in our life. Lee Scratch Perry, love you, Lee, and Jane Powell. So it's amazing that Lady Marmalade, boulez-vous coucher avec quoi? You know, so this is Jeff Eichen with Weedsdays. Look, she was 22. So moms say legalize pot and so do cops. You know, there's Jeff Mazansky and Amy. I shot this photograph of them at the White House in 2015 or 16. Let's end prohibition and say hemp, hemp, hooray, everybody, to yourself, to myself. And I'm going to, let's see here if I can get a little bit of a incredible, let's get a DJ horn going here. And we'll come out of our space here, see who's left on board. We got Jeff here. We've got God Cloud, and we've got Eric and Dan. Blessing everybody. And you're welcome to unmute if anybody has a final word. Otherwise, we're going to roll into 2022. And today's power meeting is what I want my meetings to be about, and my Weedsdays, so we can bring our farming together, plant the seeds, make restitution funds with our relief projects and our NFTs and our golf tournaments. And we want to bring a gift to you, Eric, and a gift to Jeff, and for being in jail for us, you know, and for the plan. So blessings, everybody across the world, and hemp, hemp, hooray. And remember, 3, 2, 1, that is 3, 2 peace, and 1 F schedule 1. So it's 3, 2, 1. So 3 is weed, that is peace, and then F schedule 1, because marijuana is schedule 1 still, and cocaine is schedule 2. It says it on all of my cards, and it says it in Chris Conrad's book. And so just be informed, everybody, and walk tall, and don't let anybody say we can't do this. We are doing it. We are doing it. Ja Rastafari, and here's to Bob Marley. I saw a bunch of Bob Marley paintings behind people today, and Redemption Song. God Cloud, let's redo Redemption Song. I went around the world and I printed out Redemption Song, and I had people sing it in a group. Let's do it again and bring redemption back. We need We Are the World right now. So it's our turn. Let's do it.
Let's go, man.
Okay.
I got all my guitars right here behind me.
Hey.
Man. Let's do it. I'm here.
Oh, pirates, say goodbye to the merchant ships. You know. So everybody, thank you so much. I'm going to shut her down now and close down my StreamYard. And sorry about the bleep in the beginning, but we got Tommy today again. We got Sir Tommy, and it's about us playing in the playground here, but being really cloaked like the Romulans and like the Star Trek. Learn from the sci-fi that cloaked themselves, went into the White House, and one day, just like gay marriage, it's legal now. Let's end prohibition together.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Okay, I'm out.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm out, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all you do.
Hemp, hooray. Love everybody. Peace.
Hemp, hooray. All love. Peace.